What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. What up, friends and family? What's going on? How y'all feeling today? Y'all chilling? Slow motion? What's the word? What is the word? Teach Time in the building. Teflon Time in the building. What up? What up? What up? It's all good. Slow motion. Feeling good. How are you, AD? I don't know. I feel good. On one hand, I feel good. On the other hand, it's like a weird feeling. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm in a transition. And that's kind of throwing me off because Sabrina, if I'm being honest with you, I feel like I'm evolving and I'm growing and I'm going to the next level in the next season of my life. And in this next season in my life, thank you, AR is back. I appreciate you. In this next season of my life, I think I'm going to leave some people behind. And it's kind of hurtful. So that's what I'm saying by like, I'm excited, but then at the same time, I'm kind of bothered, troubled a little bit because I know that, you know, there is some things or some tough decisions that I'm going to have to make very, very soon. And that I'm going to have to leave some stuff behind and leave some people behind and evolve beyond that. You know, so it's so many different celebratory moments. You know, my daughter, she is in a space to where she's like becoming an older little girl and all of that stuff. But then at the same time, she growed up, you know. And, you know, it's different people in my life that it's like, it's a new season. Really, that's really what it is. It's like it's no hate, it's no problems, it's no issues, it's no arguments or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's none of that type of stuff. It's just new season. Ski report. So did you see the Ilhan Omar immigration fraud situation per JD Vance? No, send it to me. Great question, because AD be working. That's what I do. That's all I do is I work. I work. Give it to the Lord. That's all I've been talking about with God is, man, it's going to be changes. I'll give you an example. You know how I went and lived in Miami for 4 months? I think that this upcoming winter, I'm not going to really be here in Detroit like that. Like, Detroit is always going to be home, but I don't think I'm going to be home come fall, winter, and summer, spring next year. I think I'm going to be traveling a lot. I'm going to probably live in like 4 different places next year. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just going to be a lot of changes. It's going to be a lot of changes in my life. I've been able to kind of mitigate, because like somebody said, kids growing up and moving out. Y'all so evil. That's what y'all say. That's what you lead to. So changes and moving on in seasons. That's what you surmise. Black people, boy, they want things to go bad so bad. They want a change of season to mean that you're losing your relationship. That's some evil stuff right there. Thank God I try not to curse anymore on the Millionaire Morning Show. That's so disrespectful. Who is this? Hello?
Hey, good morning.
What's going on? Hey, let me call you back after the live stream. I'm on a live stream.
What time is that?
Probably in about 2.5, 3 hours.
All right. I might be training in, but just call me back.
Okay, bet.
Okay, bye.
It's my new trainer. I told y'all I only work with women. Oh man. It's my new trainer. I only work with women. Female trainers, all of that. It's broke energy though. It's broke energy. It's like it's Monday, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, change is just ever evolving. And sometimes, you just evolving and you growing into different things. Like, it don't have to be bad. It don't have to be issues. It don't have to be none of that type of stuff. Like, y'all gotta grow up, man. How long do you stay in this dusty mindset? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, before me, Keisha. Thank you. See, the ladies always are showing love and they got good energy and all of that stuff. So, but yeah, man, I am. I'm kind of like in this difficult state in my life because it's like, yo, you excited for the new opportunities, but then you already see that it's some people that just can't go. Everybody not going to be able to evolve with you. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to mitigate a little bit. My daughter getting older, but then at the same time, her house is less than 2 to 3 minutes away from my house. So, you're able to mitigate that a little bit. So it's crazy. You with me, OG? You with me, Danity? You've been taking some time off just to let your mind renew itself? Or Danita? I'm sorry, I said Danity. Danita, you've been taking time off? Yeah, I agree with you, Robert Dalton. You do got to move in silence. The problem is that I lived my life like an open book for so long that I don't know what that means to move in silence anymore. But I'm learning, and I'm adapting to that too, right? I'm adapting to becoming a lot more closed off in my personal life and not as forthcoming with what's going on in my personal life. I've been becoming more protective of my personal life and the people that are personally meaningful to me, and just going from there. So, yep. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. Life is good. Everything is great. Everything is awesome. Let me read some of these super chats and cash apps, and then we're going to get into it from there. I get a lot of job stuff sent to me. I don't know why. I keep trying to unsubscribe from this nonsense. I don't even know how they put me on a list. Shout out to Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude, for holding me down. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. What is the YouTube glitch? I don't know what the YouTube glitch. Let me see. We're gonna talk about a lot of different stuff today. Let me give y'all a list of the things that's on the docket. Road rage, drunk driving, AI data centers, Nick Cannon, Jamila Robinson. A lot of people don't know who Jamila Robinson is. Jamila Robinson is a mother of 3 that have been reported missing, and they found her basically living homeless. Bernie Sanders got something with Claude, so I'm gonna look at that. That's going viral. Iran said it's waiting for U.S. troops. The protests in Los Angeles, and I also want to have a conversation because people are starting to talk about J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio and which one is actually going to become the Republican candidate for president. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot on the docket, and we're going to get to it. We're going to get it popping. All right. Coach Chris says, AD, you say stop worrying about what people think, but the Bible also says it's not good that man be alone. What do you mean? It's not good that man be alone. That was when he created a woman for man. When he created, when he was in the Bible, that was in the very, very beginning. That's in Genesis. So I don't really know what there's no correlation to you caring about what people think while you're on your journey for your purpose and whether or not you got good people around you that support you, which can be a spouse, right? So neither one of them is correlating with each other. AD, what do you use to remotivate you when you lose focus or drive? I don't need no motivation. I got things that I'm trying to accomplish. I got things I'm trying to build. I got new things that I'm trying to get into. I want to build, my first apartment building. I want to start working on that by next year. I got people to take care of. I got payroll to make. I got, a daughter that's going to college. I got a lot of other things that I'm focused on. So I don't need remotivation. My motivation is my life, is my purpose. You know what I'm saying? When you got responsibilities, you don't need no motivation. You just need to work. Coach Chris says, other than yourself, God, and your parents, who would you most attribute your success to? Me. What do you mean? My work ethic. Nobody hand me nothing. My parents. Why would I attribute my success to my parents? I love my parents. They gave me everything I needed, but that's what they were supposed to do. They supposed to raise me and be good parents to me. Jesus. It's Jesus and Time Dog. That's it. Ain't no attributing my to success. I could thank people along the way for my journey, but it's thank you, God. And shout out to everybody for holding me down. Shout out to my bag chasers. The bag chasers love me. The people that work hard to ensure that I'm successful. But as far as my work ethic, like people personally in my life, Anton from AntonDaniels.com. What you talking about? Nobody responsible for my success. I work my butt off every day. I'll be by myself, hustling, grinding. And I pay people for the stuff that they do when they contribute also. Somebody said you talk a lot. Well, this is a live stream. Would you like for us to do a silent live stream? Shen-C in the building. What up, Shen-C? I appreciate you, Shen-C. What up? It's the Shy Guy says, sup, AD. You saw the Canadian NDP Socialist Conference videos. Whole thing was the Oppression Olympics. I haven't seen it. Slam Sales Car says, congratulations on the Stephen A. Smith interview. After that interview, I said Anton has gone to a new level, tough decision ahead. Bad Habits says, morning, big dog. What's up, Bad Habits? AR is back, says, the only real constant we have in life is change. Just make sure it's for the better. I like that. I heard you talk about black fatigue a lot, and generally I agree. But can you also highlight some black excellence? Yeah, I'm awesome. You ain't see how good I've been lately? Hey man, if y'all don't get out of here trying to get me to do something now, man, I do what I want to do. I'm awesome. Haven't you seen how great I've been lately? Don't you know the numbers that I've been putting up? Did y'all see Frame Fights and the film review yesterday and how great that show is? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll get there. We'll get there. My girlfriend Crimson says, good morning, Lord Anton. I hope you have a splendid day today. And I hope you have an even more splendid day today. My beautiful, lovely baby girl, Crimson. What up, Crimson? AD, your thoughts on that lady kissing Chris Brown? I haven't seen it, and I didn't know that Chris Brown was married. You awesome too. That's why you watch me. I like that. The Right Path Good says, 80, don't hold it against me that I don't agree your definition of a saint. A saint don't take the Bible literal all the time, but you are a good soul. It's not about taking the Bible literal. So you taking my words out of context. I said we believe in every word that is in the Bible. We don't pick and choose the stuff that we believe in, things that we don't believe. We believe in all of the word. We don't take stuff out and say, nope, gay marriage is good. It's an abomination in the eyes of God. It's never been good. We're not going to modify the word to fit other people's narrative. It's either it is or it's not. It's no middle road. A lot of people miss that, right? Let me tell you why that was important for me to set the stage. God says either be hot or cold. Don't be in the middle. Don't be lukewarm. I spit you out of my mouth. And a lot of people miss the metaphorical message that came along with that. God and the word is black and white. It's a clear litmus to determine whether or not you're going in the right path or the wrong path. You did something right or you did it wrong, right? So here's the thing. The prefacing of that set the stage for the conversation because I later, told Stephen A that you can't be in the middle and there's no such thing as being independent. And I substantiated that saying that I believe that most people are using that as a cop-out to not actually want to be accountable for picking a side and being transparent about their beliefs. And so they say they're independent to leave the door open for whatever, right? So that was the whole preface behind me saying that, is that my personality does not allow for me to make concessions on my beliefs. Does that make sense? Shout out to my dog, Marlo Reed. I appreciate you for the 20 ball. Thank you for holding me down. Jesus, Joseph, Mary, and Anton. I don't know about Joseph and Mary, but it's Jesus. I don't pray to Joseph. I don't pray to Mary. I pray to Jesus. That's it. I pray to God, but I go to Jesus because he's the intercessor. He's our friend on our behalf. Shout out to my girl Crimson because I'm on a silent live stream. We doing mimes. Mr. Jeerley says, thank you, Anton. I'm over here in Big Island, Hawaii. I'll be there in the winter. Coming to Hawaii this winter. Granted that there's no more fires. King DJ Trick says, Anton, is great to be a Michigan Wolverine. They're going to win it all. You know that, right? You know they're going to win it all, right? Country Boy Finesse says, I saw that Canada is banning the Bible. Where you see that at? All right, send it to me. Send it to me. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get into the show? Y'all want to get into the little off stories first? Let me see. I know y'all want me to talk about Nick Cannon too. I didn't know y'all was in Wisconsin wilding, bro. I thought that y'all was only in the major cities wilding. Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta, Houston. I didn't know y'all was up in Wisconsin causing problems.
A normal day at Bayshore Mall turned into madness as hundreds of teens showed up and several fights broke out.
Some concerned parents I spoke to off camera tell me this was part of a mall takeover. You can see the post that went viral on Instagram. Well, Glendale police tell me they were aware of that post and had increased security and patrols ahead of Sunday.
Even with that increased presence, TMJ4 cameras captured fights like this one that spilled out onto a busy Port Washington road. For several hours Sunday afternoon, Glendale police, the Milwaukee County Sheriff, and mall security worked to clear hundreds of young people from the area.
A little action here and there, a lot of young people.
Community leader Vaughn Mays and several...
I remember when they built a while ago, a long time ago, they had built this thing called in Novi. It was this spot in Novi. And this is when it very, I'm sorry, well over 10, 12, 15 years ago in Novi. Novi over by Imagine Theater, by the movie theater. It's called the Fountain Walk over in Novi. So this is it right here. And obviously it was a little bit different back then, but it was called the Fountain Walk over here in Novi. So this is what it looked like. Let's close this. And it's like, it was a Buffalo Wild Wings right here. Yep, that's the Buffalo Wild Wings. This was something different. I don't know what this was, what this is. But what is this, a Black Rock? Yeah, that's Black Rock. That's a restaurant. And then you got the Cold Stone Creamery over here. So Novi is a suburb of Detroit. It's actually a little bit further out from Detroit. More restaurants, Battle Axe throwing over there. It was a Bar Louie right here. Imagine Movie Theater is over there. And then you got bowling over here and all of that stuff. And then it's a gym. It's Powerhouse right here. This is Powerhouse Gym. You can actually see the basketball court inside of there. And then it's a whole bunch of other restaurants and stuff all around. And you can walk all the way around it, and it's a bunch of restaurants everywhere or whatever. I remember when this first opened up, that it had started being taken over, similar to what you see over at that spot in Wisconsin. And they immediately put a curfew in place and said that if you are out there past a certain time on the weekends, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I don't remember, it was like 6, 7 o'clock p.m., If you were out there past a certain time, you were going to be arrested and your parents was going to be held accountable. They immediately shut all of that down. And all of the young people, you know what it is. And all of the young people went somewhere else. They put a curfew up immediately. It was they didn't play no games. Wasn't no just beefing up security. None of that type of, all of this right here. Wasn't none of this. Just hanging out, loitering, having your car around, everybody with Jordans on, joggers, Nike Tech Fits, and spiky hair. That was it. Wasn't none of this.
A little action here and there, a lot of young people.
Community.
It looked kind of similar if you look at it.
From the area.
A little action here and there, a lot of young people.
Look very similar. Looks very, very similar.
Community leader Vaughn Mays and several violence prevention groups also showed up, hoping to prevent the situation from getting worse.
Just trying to assist in some prevention. There's been talk of...
Let me tell you something, I see Unc walking in.
Just trying to assist.
See him over there on the left-hand side. Let me tell you something, Unc. It's a different day, big dog. These young people, they don't care nothing about what you're talking about. Ain't no such thing as violence prevention. Ain't no putting on no hoodies. I look at those type of organizations as tax shelters. Those are opportunities for people to get money from the city so that they can say that they're doing violence prevention work. Them young people don't care nothing about what you're talking about, bro. No, nothing. You think you walking over there is going to change what these young bulls is trying to do? The boys is trying to, they trying to impress the girls. The girls is fast and hot in the pants, and they can't wait to try to lose their virginity because they've been on TikTok all day listening to whole talk. They've been on TikTok all day listening to whole talk, and now they got a new thing called Young Ho. They got a new thing on TikTok called Young Ho. It's a thing. And it's basically young girls showing you their routines, showing you how much of a hoe they is. It's a new thing called Young Ho.
Unpopular opinion, but I don't.
Been doing the Young Ho since 2021.
Unpopular opinion, but I don't like how y'all are saying if you're above 25, you can't be considered a young ho. First of all, if you're under the age of 23, stop calling yourself a young ho. Go to school. You're not a hoe, go to school.
This is the day we live in. This is the day we live in. That listen, so stop telling me. Stop telling me. Stop telling me don't identify them for what they are. Anton, you got to be more respectful for women. They don't respect themselves. They don't respect themselves. This is how they selling themselves on social media. How you gonna look at Slimmy? Slimmy got the stick out tongue emoji. You can't tell me to respect them, and they don't even respect their own parents. They don't respect their own parents. They don't respect their own parents. How am I supposed to show them more respect than they respect themselves? Don't tell me to respect them. What are you talking about? I'm just looking at them for what they do. They got baby hairs. Beds is unmade. White beater is too short. They ain't got no room to fill out, so you know the BBL is coming. It's a real thing. The BBL is coming. Anton, how do you know that the BBL is coming? Because it ain't got nowhere else to go. When you younger, you supposed to make room for yourself to be able to get pregnant and fill out. They already there. They already there. What am I supposed to do?
You're not a young hoe.
Like Wi-Fi, did a good job on it. That's a hot five.
Bring me the trappers, bring me the scammers, bring me the dancers. We in Atlanta.
Look, they even using the emojis. We in Atlanta. What am I supposed to do, man? These is our wives. These are women. These are the future wives of it. They're not just posting their cars or their fit check. You know, I could imagine that. Post your cars, your fit check. Where you been at? Your new outfit, yo, whatever. They bouncing with it. Bam, bam, bow, 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 bow. All I got to do is they put the hashtag under themselves. It's the young ho fit. You can't save them. Y'all done already aged out, man. You might as well go to the bar, get you a drink, have you a good time. All of this violence prevention, that's not gonna happen, bro.
And some prevention. There's been talk online of a takeover here and also at Mayfair. And so we just wanted to come out and assist the security in the department and the businesses with helping alleviate that as best we can.
Bayshore Mall posted this reminder on Facebook Sunday. Its parental guidance policy says Friday through Sunday after 3 p.m., anyone 17 and under must be with an adult.
Y'all stay positive out here, okay?
Community leaders.
Y'all stay positive out here, all right? Hey, man, y'all stay positive out there, okay? Hey, young blood. Hey, young blood, stay positive, bro. Hey, y'all stay positive out there, big dog.
Say more needs to be done.
You have to have something more formal to prevent this entirely. So programming in place, supports in place. Hopefully we can get the businesses involved.
We watched as Glendale police made arrests. Tonight, the department confirming at least 13 people were taken into custody.
Yeah, this is rap. This is a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. I know what's happening. You got to get his big U on. I know you got to get your funding together, big bro. I'm not trying to hate on him either. I'm not trying to hate on him. All I'm saying is the culture is done, bro. The culture is cooked. Ain't no saving the culture. Ain't no saving the culture. It's over. That's it. It's done, big dog. It's done. And it don't matter. I'm showing you it don't matter if you in California. It don't matter if you in Chicago. It don't matter if you in New York. It don't matter if you in Atlanta. It don't matter if you in Houston. Don't matter if you Miami. It's all the way up in Wisconsin. It's in Wisconsin, bro. It's the Tide Pod generation. It says Texas, honey. Our kids was not our kids, us. When I was in school, you was able to easily identify the kid that was a little bit different than everybody else because he used to eat and sniff glue. And he used to do it when he thought nobody was looking. So I would just look straight, but I would have my eyes like this. So I keep my face straight because they can't see your eyes in that peripheral vision. So I'm just looking like this, and I look over, and he go like this. He couldn't help it. He had to lick the glue. I remember him. His name was Silas. Silas was a glue licker and a glue sniffer. And I said, what is wrong with Silas? And I never asked him. I just was like, you a weird one. Silas, I'm telling you, I remember Silas. Silas did 3 things that I thought was so weird. And I said, that man is either going to be a serial killer or they're going to have to, catch him and put him in prison. He used to sniff glue. He used to lick glue. And he used to eat his boogers. I'm telling you, he used to sniff glue, eat glue. Well, he didn't really eat it. He just licked it. And he would eat his boogers. And I was like, what's wrong with Silas? And they were like, ugh, Silas, you're so nasty. I heard that Silas wound up growing up and somehow like becoming like a 3-time baby daddy or something like that. Imagine you becoming a baby mama to a dude that ate his boogers and sniffed glue and licked glue. Bro, this is crazy. But my point is that you knew the ones that was going to happen. The teachers knew. Silas, go wash your hands. That meant that Silas had been eating boogers. And then you can always tell that he been licking glue because when the glue, you know how the glue dry up? like on your skin, and you know how you can peel it off. And all, he would have peel. It would be peel around his lips and stuff. Like, Silas, you been eating your boogers and licking glue again. It's around your mouth. Elmer's. It was Elmer's. You know how it is. You know how you get the Elmer's glue with the orange top on it and the bottle. It's like Silas always got that peel around his mouth. You been licking glue again, Silas? Ugh. What's wrong with you, bro? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me take y'all before I read the super chat. Y'all ain't never seen nobody? Man, don't worry about it, bro. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I got y'all. Let me see something real quick. There was something else before I get into the thick of things. Because I know y'all want me to also talk about Nick Cannon and something too. We're going to get into that in a second. Elon Musk, Jamila Robinson.
And we begin here at 5 with an Operation Crime and Justice report. King County prosecutors have charged a man with attempted murder after investigators say he tried to push someone onto the light rail tracks. Good evening, I'm Preston Phillips. This happened right in front of an oncoming train, and we've learned the suspect has a criminal past and was committed to Western State Hospital and was eventually released to a less restrictive facility. KOMO's Lynn Nguyen has been digging into this case. She's live tonight outside the King County Jail, where he's being held on $750,000 bail. Lynn?
All Preston, court records show that suspect has spent years in and out of mental health treatment, and he had a previous assault case dismissed after mental health professionals deemed him incompetent to stand trial. It was a close call for a light rail passenger on March 19th after a man suddenly came up behind him and tried to push him onto the tracks right in front of a train.
I don't care how much y'all try to make it seem like people are too crazy to be held accountable and to stand trial for their actions. You can get your change or whatever it is that you got going on. You can get that while you in prison. But this clearly, when you look at this video or you look at this picture, this guy clearly tried to kill this man. He clearly tried to kill this man who was about to catch a train. And they trying to make it seem like, oh, no, you know what? He just crazy. He just need to be in the mental hospital. Nah, bro. Nah. Yo, the more that I see these videos, because they got the people mover and stuff like that here in Detroit, and they even got the queue line, man, I don't stand anywhere near the ledge. That's almost like a fear of mine at this point, is to get pushed onto the railroad tracks. Even if it's just light rail. Even if it's light rail, I don't even stand near the tracks, bro. I just don't stand near none of that at all. I just got an absolute positive, like I be looking around me, situation awareness. Everybody over in New York, y'all just be standing around and just oblivious to it. But this guy, he was a little bit smarter and aware. He wound up catching himself before he actually got pushed onto the tracks. But this is clearly attempted murder in every single way of the word, and there ain't no way he should be able to get off.
The victim was able to catch himself before falling, and the suspect ran away. But investigators were able to track his movements through area surveillance cameras, according to court documents. Their investigation leading them to the nearby Cascade Hall, a behavioral health treatment facility where they found Alicio Melendez, who matches the suspect's description. When confronted by investigators about the incident, Melendez reportedly said, "Maybe that was my twin win that I don't have. Court records show Melendez was previously charged with assault for stabbing his sister in the stomach in 2019 and also had been arrested for randomly punching a woman at church in 2018. He had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and has a documented history of mental health treatment. By 2021, mental health professionals deemed him not competent to stand.
You know, back in the Bible days, they would pray that out of him. All of the devils and the demons that was inside of the pig, and they jumped out of the man, they went and got into the pig. We don't believe in spirituality anymore. The only thing we believe in is what we think makes the most sense. So as long as you can get a prescription for it, then that's all we're going to diagnose you with.
And trial for the stabbing of his sister. The case was dismissed, and Melendez was instead civilly committed to Western State Hospital.
The reason why prosecutors are forced to dismiss that is because there's no other legal option. You're not going to get it before the court. There's no way to get a conviction.
A spokesperson for the King County Prosecutor's Office tells us by January 2022, DSHS determined Melendez had reached a point in his treatment where he could be released to a less restrictive alternative. The prosecutor's office also shared, even if Melendez was convicted as charged in the 2019 assault case, the maximum penalty was 21 months under state sentencing guidelines.
If he were convicted as charged under the RCWs, the state laws, he would have gotten credit for time served. And so I think there's a lot of frustration. Sometimes people point that at prosecutors, but when you look at the case file,
our laws is garbage, bro. Our laws are straight up garbage, and I think that we need to revamp these laws so that people can be held accountable for their actions, and they can't just get away with being, murderers and trying to push people on train tracks and get out.
A roadside rampage in Hollywood where a motorist having a meltdown is caught on camera, attacking a car and then threatening the couple inside. The couple says a confrontation left them shaken and fearing for their safety.
Carlos Acedo spoke with that couple tonight and joins us live now from Hollywood. Carlos?
We're covering the road rage incident happened in Hollywood this morning. The driver is seen attacking the couple in their car. That couple then chases the driver. Tonight, they're speaking out in hopes of holding him accountable.
What is he doing? Just videotape. Lock the door. What is he doing? Just videotape. Lock the door. Lock the door.
Hey, stop.
Now, you know his hand hurting, right? You know his hand is hurting. Because if you do it and it don't break, your hand is hurting. You know your hand hurting, right? And so you just kind of playing it off. Hey, his shirt say, "Don't panic," too. What did it say? Don't panic. It's okay.
A light at Melrose and Vine Sunday morning took a violent turn. A random man appearing agitated took his anger out on a couple driving a white Mercedes.
Terrifying road rage in the middle of LA at 9:20 in the morning, and he hit the window so hard.
Paula, too, was behind the wheel.
Oh, he going to jail. He going to jail. He going to jail. He going to jail. Listen, the one thing that I know for sure, and the two things is for certain, is that no matter what happened to cause that road rage, you can't punch the window of an Alphabet community member. That's all I know for sure. You cannot punch the window of an Alphabet community member, especially if they have a poodle in the car. Nope. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. They got matching suit. Everything they wear every day is probably matching. He got a plaid suit. He got a plaid suit. He got a power blue suit. He got a power blue suit. He got a pink suit. The other one probably got an orange suit. You can't punch the door. You can't punch the window of an Alphabet community member in Los Angeles. Boy, you going to jail. You know that? Yeah, you can't do that to rich gays. Not rich guys, you can't. They standing in front of a boutique with dresses and a neck scarf. What a poodle. What a poodle. You know these guys are spooning all night long. And you know which one is spooning which one. They showing you right now. They spooning all day long, and they got money. Oh, God. Look at this. Record, Francois, record this. And they don't stop either. Like, they're not going to let up. They're not going to pause. They're not going to let up. Oh, no. They do spoon. Absolutely, they're going to spoon. 100% they're going to spoon. Facts. He in trouble.
And his husband started recording when they say the driver of...
And they already looking at him as, oh my God, look at this guy. He's so unput together. His beard is not together. His hair is not good. He's driving one of those Toyota things. And look at his shirt. Oh God. Probably got it straight from the thrift store. Can't believe it. Start recording, Francois.
A Toyota 4Runner blocked them at an intersection, got out of the vehicle, and started punching and kicking their car.
Because then he started running towards our car, and then...
And they driving a Mercedes too? Oh, yeah, he going to jail.
Started punching and kicking their car.
Because then he started running towards our car.
Yeah, they got the Mercedes. Oh, yeah, he going to jail. Yep. It's no doubt about it. They're going to catch him. They're going to throw him under the jail, and he's going to get sued for distress and all of that. Francois, he's going to jail. He's going to jail. They got a Mercedes. He's punching their window. It's in Los Angeles. There's no way that he's going to make it out of this one.
And then with his...
What's their name? Patrick Simpson? Let me go to Patrick Simpson's Instagram. .com / what is it? Patrick with a K. Oh yes. They're waiting on The Devil Wears Prada to come out. Look at this. Gowning out. I'm not downing out. I'm gowning out. Oh my, yes. Work it. Oh, I ain't signed in. All right, don't worry about it. I ain't gonna worry about it then. Work it. Work it. We not having that though.
Fist, and then I'm like telling him lock the car because we couldn't move.
Patrick Simpson and Paul say they did nothing to provoke the driver and don't know what set him off.
This is it. I'm gonna die here, and now this is it. And I'd never been faced with that kind of fear in my life on the streets of LA.
Go get him.
Once the man got in his vehicle and drove off, they started following him.
I just got assaulted by a car, a 4Runner.
And called 911.
Look at all of them S's. You hear them S's? And you're not getting away in your 4Runner, not in LA. Go get him, Francois. I just got assaulted by a car. They got that good insurance, so they don't care if you punch their car. They don't care if you kick it. Don't matter. They're going to get the upgraded bins anyway. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. I just got assaulted by this guy in the Toyota 4Runner, and this is what his license plate is. They working together. One is recording, the other one is driving really hard to make sure that they catch up to him.
911.
He ran every stop sign, every red light, and
boy, got their lip fillers on.
Drove so erratic with kids in the car. I thought,
there's a baby in the front seat.
You're on something.
They eventually pulled back. LAPD took a report, but the road rage suspect was long gone. If Paul and Patrick look familiar, that's because they have a TV show on Amazon Prime, Gown and Out in Beverly Hills, and also host a fashion podcast. Still, they're not sure if this was a targeted incident.
I don't know if he knew who we were, and that I don't know. I just think it was very weird that this car comes right in front of us.
Oh man, he got his tie on sideways and his chest out too.
Parks diagonal, traps us. We can't go anywhere, and then just starts
speeding the car. I don't get it. The reason I posted on social media is so we could find him, because if the police can't, someone will find him.
This world is getting weirder by the day, big dog. It's getting weirder by the day. Well, skip it. We might as well put the trifecta on this joint, huh?
Drivers facing DUI and also marijuana charges tonight. Parents say Nelson Baba picked their kids up from prom while he was under the influence. Channel 2's Tom Jones joins us live now from Cherokee County. And Tom, those teens, they were afraid for their lives.
Yeah, George, those 10 teens who were inside that limo say they kept pleading with the limo driver to pull over. They were so afraid. They finally said they got him to pull over at this QT, and their parents had to pick them up here because that limo driver was arrested for DUI.
It was a crazy night.
That's what one teen said who was in this limo right before deputies arrested the limo driver, Nelson Baba, on senior prom night. She says when they left the prom, they knew right away something was wrong.
The moment we stepped into the limo, the putrid smell of weed whips up our noses.
They say Baba couldn't find his way back to Cherokee County, even though he had a GPS. They say Baba drove erratically. One of their parents said the kids were afraid for their lives.
We get a text around 10:30, says this guy's going to kill us.
The teens say they finally got Baba to pull over at this QT in Holly Springs.
They searched the limo and found what they found.
Deputies say they found marijuana and say Baba told them he bought it while the teens were at the prom. Baba was arrested. The parents asked for a full refund from the limo company they paid. Are you going to give them their money back? The owner of Price the Limo told me Baba works for another limo company, and he offered to only charge the teens half price since the first leg of the trip went as planned. The parents say it did not go as planned, and they never knew Baba worked for someone else.
I hope I never meet that limo driver in person again, because I won't be able to contain myself. Nobody should have the right to put our kids in danger.
Baba.
Shout out to Baba, man. Shout out to this crazy world. Y'all just got to be situationally aware. Life is difficult. Life is hard for everybody, and apparently everybody is crazy. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, y'all, let's dial in. Let's get to the show. We got a 2-hour show that's lined up for y'all. First hour was foolishness. Second hour is seriousness. Third hour, we going to get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a part of the Patreon, actually, don't join the Patreon yet. Wait till Wednesday, because the best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. So throw it in your calendar. We got a live stream coming up on Saturday, we got a live stream coming up. Wednesday, we have a video dropping that's already edited and scheduled. And that's going to be the first day, the best day to join a Patreon is the beginning of the month. So make sure y'all do that today. All right? So foolishness is out the way. Now we got to get to real stuff and real business. But before I do that, let me read some of the super chats. Right Path Good says, apologize for taking you out of context. Yes, sir. I only pray to Jesus. To God, you make perfect sense. Look how Saul took spoils of war and God told him not to. Roscoe says, Roscoe P, or Roscoe EP says, ADS saw a video covering Chicago violence prevention fraud. You should cover it. The jokes write themselves, and Mohawk wants more money for it. Let me send it to me. Chase Barnes says, happy Monday, AD and peeps. Every time I ride the rail system here in Atlanta at 5 Points, where the Dusties and Crazy reside at the most, I always keep my head on the swivel at all times, so I'm with you, AD. Also says, don't they know that rich gays are off limits? They are a protected class. That's a fact. See, poor LGBTQ communities, nobody care about them. They only care about the ones that got money. Anton, did you see the Drewski skit? Yeah, we did. We seen the one with that one on Erica Kirk. We seen 1,000. We seen that, reviewed that all last week. I should do more coverage on the war. Okay. All right, Lions Super Bowl. I know you feeling some type of way about it because you want to get mad. You want me to give you a reason to get mad. So let's cover it. Matter of fact, I'll go to a liberal platform and then, well, let's go to BBC. I know Trump don't really care about BBC, so we'll go over there.
The Speaker of Iran's parliament has warned the US that Iran's military is waiting for a ground attack and ready to rain fire upon any troops that try to enter Iranian territory. He claimed Donald Trump is planning a ground operation in secret. His comments come as fresh reports in the Washington Post suggest the Pentagon is preparing for weeks of ground operations in Iran. The Pentagon hasn't commented on the reports yet. More than 3,000 US troops arrived in the region on Friday on board the USS Tripoli. But Donald Trump has claimed in recent days that talks with Iran have been going very well. Meanwhile, Iran has threatened to target Israeli and American universities in the Middle East in retaliation for a strike on a university in Tehran. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps warned staff and students, as well as nearby residents, to keep a distance of 1 kilometer from American universities in the region. It comes as the Houthis in Yemen say they'll keep targeting Israel in the coming days after launching their first attacks since the war began. The group, which is backed by Iran, says it fired 2 waves of missiles and drones on Saturday. This report from our World Affairs correspondent Joe Inwood.
High above the Middle East, an Israeli jet refuels, ready for another operation. This is the image the US and Israel want to project, of precision, of control. But on the ground, it appears very different. Iran is still fighting back. There are reports in the US that the use of ground troops is now being considered. Thousands of Marines are in the region. The Washington Post says they may attempt to take either Karg Island or launch coastal raids. Responding on social media, the president simply said, no, Trump is not losing his nerve on Iran. But the threat of ground forces is clearly being taken seriously. The Speaker of Iran's parliament told the state news agency the enemy openly sends messages of negotiation and secretly plans for a ground attack. Our men are waiting to set them on fire and punish their regional partners forever. And that punishment is already being felt. This was Kuwait airport yesterday, while the UAE said it suffered its heaviest attacks in weeks. The news that the Houthis, an armed Yemeni faction aligned to Iran, have now joined the war opens a new front.
Our armed forces carried out the second military operation using a barrage of cruise missiles and drones, targeting several vital and military sites of the Zionist enemy in southern occupied Palestine.
The Houthis could threaten the Bab al-Mandab Strait, which has provided an alternate route for some Saudi oil. If that were closed, the consequences for the global economy would be devastating. Here in the UK, the government says this country can cope.
As you would expect, we will continue to keep under review all of the measures we currently have in place, and if anything is needed in the future. But your viewers should be reassured that where it comes to energy prices, in terms of what they will be paying for domestic supplies, we are making sure that is capped until the end of June. We've taken action to support consumers who require heating oil.
Honestly, I just think that they just need to go ahead and just eliminate everything and just wipe out the entire regime once and for all, because if you don't put it to sleep now, then you're going to be dealing with it again sometime in the future, whether it's 10 years from now, whether it's 15 years from now, or whether it's 20 years from now. I think that all of these partners and everybody that's in the UN and everybody over in the Middle East just need to go ahead and wipe them out completely and just and put in a completely different new leadership and keep it moving, bro. Ain't no stopping, ain't no pulling back. Either you in or you out. It's up. I just think they need to go ahead and just put these dudes to rest altogether, bro. Honestly. For real, bro. Like, because we're going to be having the same conversation that we've been having since the 80s and the 90s and all of this same stuff we've been talking about forever. Just put it to rest. Just completely Wipe them out completely, man. Wipe out this regime completely. Take no prisoners. And that way we ain't got to deal with this foolishness no more, man. You keep on negotiating with them. They never gonna do what they supposed to do. They never gonna take care of business. And so I just think you just need to go ahead and deal with it appropriately. And I don't think that needs to be the United States of America's responsibility entirely, because the ones that are going to be most affected are the partners that are in the Middle East. And so they should take the lead on it. Go ahead and deal with it accordingly. Let's get some world peace over there in the Middle East, and let's keep it moving. That's what I think it should happen. Go ahead and put this to rest once and for all. We've been talking about this since 1979. Every single president that I was born in 82. I was born in 82, man. I've been hearing about Iran since the 80s. Since I was a child, I've been hearing about Iran. I've been hearing about Iran since the 80s. I'm 43, not 44. My birthday hasn't come this year yet. Every single president has always talked about Iran. Man, I'm so tired of these people. Keep on worrying about if they're going to get a nuclear weapon. I'm going to tell y'all what really this is about, because y'all keep talking about, oh, this is about oil. This is about this is about that. It's not about oil. It has never been about oil. Oil is a small piece of the puzzle. This is about the American dollar and weakening our enemies, especially considering that they're trying to. Listen, they are all trying to partner to make sure that they no longer look at the United States of America's reserve currency as the foundation by which everybody values their currency. This is about our money. This is about power. This is about who controls the regions. This is not just about oil. That's what I keep trying to, that's what y'all don't understand. Y'all think, oh my God, this is about oil. It's not about oil. It's never been about oil. What have we been talking about the entire time that Biden was in office? We've been talking about BRICS, right? Is that not what we've been talking about? So the Trump administration is basically protecting American interests for hundreds of years. And sometimes, guess what? You can't kick the can down the road and keep on talking about how everything is cool. It's never been about oil. That's a small piece of the puzzle. So of course you're going to take Venezuela, right? Of course you're going to want to take Greenland to make sure that you protect the United States of America, because Russia has a huge interest in Greenland. This is about our dollar. This is about the petrodollar. This is about American reserve currency. This is about our interests as Americans throughout the world. This has never been about, it's not even about Iran. That's what y'all don't understand. It's about China. China is the one that is deploying all of these proxy wars. China don't even care about Iran. China cares about weakening the United States of America. Our dollar is not necessarily backed by oil. Our dollar is backed by other countries' belief in it. That's why they use it as a reserve currency. So in order for us to make sure, why do you think that we have bases in other countries in the Middle East? Why do you think that we have such strong partnerships with other countries in the Middle East? You think it's about oil? It's about power. And so when you understand world politics, then you can have a more informed perspective about exactly why it's important for us to do these things.
Are diplomatic efforts underway to bring this all to an end? Talks are being held, but only involving Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey. The US, Israel, and Iran are not taking part. They all claim they are now winning this war, and no one looks ready to compromise. Joe Inwood, BBC News.
Let's speak to Sasha Bruchman, who's Research Fellow for Defence and Military Analysis at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, joining us from Doha. Sasha Bruchman, thank you for talking to us. I wonder, first of all, what your thoughts are 1 month into this war with no real end in sight.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Well, yes, it seems we have settled into a bit of a phase of stalemate. It's no longer the first or second round of this boxing match where everybody's trying to gather information about how the ferocity of each other and the constitution of the enemy. But it now seems like both have kind of sized each other up, and we're getting into a phase that seems a bit more slow, as in continuous attacks by the United States and Israel. They have not died down, and the Iranians have been able to retaliate or continue retaliation, albeit at a much lower level. So when the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff says Iran's retaliation has dropped by 90% in terms of missile and UAV attacks, I think I can see something similar in the data. But this is kind of the stalemate where we are hundreds of sorties per day on the US-Israeli side and 20, 30, 40 missiles maybe by the Iranians in retaliation.
So despite the bluster, despite the defiance, I mean, absolute defiance that continues to come from Iran, the latest from the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament saying Iran is waiting for a ground attack by the US and will rain fire on any troops. Despite all that, you think there is a military weakening of Iran behind that. How strong do you think Iran feels?
I mean, we have to disentangle what the military weakening means. The missile and the UAV sorties have definitely gone down. The Iranian Navy no longer exists de facto, but its ground forces have been much less affected by the war thus far. So there's something to be considered. Now, I would never want to be at the receiving end of a U.S. Marine Corps attack, whether that's a MACTF, a Marine Assault Force, or whether it's a MU, what they're sending now, the Marine Expeditionary Unit. The problem for the Iranians will be that an amphibious assault is hard to predict. It's hard to predict where it comes in. The Marines can come by.
Listen, y'all, listen. Let me look at it let me show y'all or have a conversation with y'all from a completely different lens, right? So they're talking about the U.S. bolstering the presence in the Middle East, right? What is the Middle East? Because some people say, oh man, this is about oil, it's about oil. It's not about oil from the lens by which you look at it, right? One thing that Iran was trying to do was bolster its relationship, and they already have a great relationship, obviously, with Russia. They're also trying to bolster their relationship with China. Part of bolstering their relationship with China was not only to take oil out of Venezuela and leverage that, but also to have and push for oil sales to be in a Chinese yuan, right? And what that does is it threatens the petrodollar because America's dominance is their ability to be able to sell, right, oil, or the world, pushing the world to be able to sell oil as in the petrodollar, right? And then you also tie in AI. And so what role does Taiwan have in that? What role does the chip manufacturing, what role does all of these things have in that, right? Because eventually I believe that the whole goal is to move towards a not only to have, you know, the petrodollar or the US reserve currency to still be the dominant player in the market, but I also believe that we're trying to move towards a digital currency. And so the United States of America is trying to make sure that they are at the forefront of that while at the same time protecting their interests and their partnerships with all other people inside of the Middle East, right? Our U.S. military then becomes our greatest investment because we have to continue to show that we're willing to engage and more importantly, protect our partners while at the same time maintaining dominance over other countries like Iran and Russia. So when you start to look at it from a geopolitical perspective, or you start to look at it in global politics, you start to understand that the finances is not based off of our need for oil, because China has a greater need for oil than the United States of America. We actually make more oil, or we pump out more oil than any other person or any other country in the world. The whole goal is geopolitics, right? Making sure that we protect the petrodollar, and then our race and AI, especially when it comes to not only having the United States of America as maintaining its reserve currency or its dominance as the U.S. as a reserve currency, boosting the value of our dollar long term, but also as we move more into automation. When you're talking about digital currency, we want people to champion what we're pushing out and not what they're pushing out over in China. So it's a bigger play, right? We look at it on a much smaller scale because we're only focused on what Democrats and politicians and so-called content creators that don't understand the finances aspect of it, and we're looking at it from a smaller scale. But we haven't been looking at it from the long-term play of how our partners will be affected. That's one of the reasons why we spend more money on our military. Democrats did sell America to China, but that was back in the 90s and in the early 2000s and even the 80s to an extent. So look at it from a completely different lens. Don't only look at it and say, man, we just want to dominate Iran, or it's just about being power hungry. It's not. It's not. It's just that all of the presidents before us didn't have the balls to be able to deal with the problems, and they kept kicking the can down the road because they didn't want to be responsible for what they had to do on their watch. But that's what makes Trump different from everybody else, is he does the things that you have to do. And of course, he can't say that out loud. That's not something that you can say out loud. You can't just tell your strategy out loud. Now we have to be able to get the American people and our partners to be able to buy into why it's important for us to go over there and make sure that Iran is taken care of. It's not just about nuclear weapons. It's not just about ballistic missiles. That's the way that you sell the American people on why you should be over there dealing with it in the first place. And in my opinion, this is why you cannot leave this regime in place and trust them to do business the way that America wants them to do business the way that Venezuela is doing business. You can't trust them to do that because this regime is much different than the vice president that was standing next to Maduro. They're not playing ball. They're not playing ball. Somebody said not sold at all. Of course you're not sold at all. You wouldn't be sold until your whole lifestyle is upended because you don't really understand geopolitics. So that's my perspective of it. That is why it's important for us to deal with these situations, and why we wage so many proxy wars is because of things that are bigger than just oil. It's not just about the threats of destruction. It's not just about any of that type of stuff. It's much bigger than that. Much, much bigger than that. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Let's pivot for a second. Give me a second. Los Angeles? Didn't we cover that yesterday? We're going to get to Bernie Sanders in a minute. Let me pull up this other account because I think I might have covered it with another thing. Rubio, Vance. Let's switch over to Marco Rubio. We'll get there in a minute. Hold on. Marco Rubio.
Comments overnight talking about taking the oil on Karg Island. How would he do this? Why would he do this? Won't it take ground troops?
Well, first of all, it's important to remember the objectives of this operation from the very beginning. We are destroying Iran's Navy. We are destroying their ability to their missile launchers by a significant percentage. We're going to wipe out their defense industrial base, meaning their ability to make new missiles and new drones in the future, because it poses a great threat to the region. This Iran that you're seeing now, this is Iran at its weakest point. Imagine them 2 years from now if they had thousands of more missiles, thousands of more missile launchers and factories to make even more. That was an unacceptable risk. It needed to be addressed, and President Trump is addressing it. Now, they are making threats about controlling the Hormuz Straits in perpetuity, creating a tolling system and the like. That's not going to be allowed to happen. And the president has a number of options available to him if he so chooses to prevent that from happening. Obviously, I'm not going to discuss what those options are, and we're not going to discuss military tactics. The Department of War would be in charge of those things. I'd refer you to them, but obviously they're not going to discuss it with you either. But there is a way forward here to achieve our objectives. We are going to achieve our objectives in a matter of weeks, not months.
Well, but let's talk about taking the oil, because the president laid out that objective last night. And taking the oil will take ground troops, won't it?
Well, again, the Iranians are threatening that they're going to set up some permanent system in the Straits of Hormuz where they get to decide who goes through international waterways. That will never be allowed to happen. By the way, the rest of the world should take note of that. They have more at stake there than we do. We get very little of our energy in this country coming through the Straits of Hormuz. The rest of the world gets a lot more. That said, the president has several options at his disposal, and the Department of War is preparing optionality for the president for this and various other contingencies that might arise.
Optionality
always needs to happen in situations like this. But what I want the American people and the people watching this broadcast to know is that fundamentally what this is about is the destruction of their Air Force, which has been largely achieved, the destruction of their Navy, which has been largely achieved, the destruction of their factories that they make all these weapons with, which is we're well on our way to achieving, and a substantial reduction in the number of missile launchers that they have so that they cannot continue to threaten their neighbors in the future. All of those objectives are being met on or ahead of schedule, and should be able to achieve in a matter of weeks.
As you're speaking, though, the president is
Marco Rubio is probably the best pick for the president than anybody else. I don't think that there's been any better pick in the president's cabinet than Marco Rubio. Obviously, we know J.D. Vance, but I'm not really sure that you could say that he was a pick for his cabinet, because J.D. Vance was picked to be vice president of the United States of America. So technically he was his running mate. But when you talk about the people that are part of his cabinet, though the smart people that run things on a day-to-day basis, I don't think that there was a better pick than Marco Rubio. He's smart, he's talented, he's foreign. Technically, he's a person of color, right? So he satisfied that. I think that J.D. Vance is smart. And I think that Marco Rubio is smart. I'm just thinking that Marco Rubio might be more marketable. I think that Marco Rubio might be a little bit more marketable. Right now, I think that they're both trying to make their way, because J.D. Vance is going to make a name for himself to address the issues that is happening over in Minneapolis. And I heard that he's actually going after Ilhan Omar. I don't know how true that is, but Marco Rubio is making his name by handling everything as far as being an executive, handling everything on a war front.
Focus on the Republicans because we're talking about CPAC here. J.D. Vance at 53%, the clear winner. However, he is down 8% from last year. Marco Rubio up about 33% to 35%. So given those numbers, what do you think, if anything, does this say about 2028?
I think, Carly, it says that it's a memo to every Republican out there, not named J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. Don't bother running for president next time around. Unless you're approved by MAGA and you're not in this current administration, you will lose. It's really that simple. Marco Rubio has been beyond impressive as Secretary of State and the 18 other jobs that he has at this point. And if you have a J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio ticket, very hard to see how that will be beaten. If the economy is going well, of course, and there's relative peace in the world in 2028, it's hard to see how any Democrat who may be the nominee for the party, whether that's Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, AOC, Pete Buttigieg, J.B. Pritzker, it's hard to see how they would beat Vance and or Rubio, because it's impossible to define what the blue team's campaign slogan is outside of Trump is a fascist, vote for us good, them bad. There is no positive vision or policy. Either way, I don't think Marco Rubio runs against J.D. Vance. I think that will be a team in some way, or maybe just something to consider real quick. Maybe J.D. Vance at only, 41 years old with another child on the way, a fourth one, Usha is pregnant right now. Maybe he says, I'm going to sit this one out. I'd rather be there for my kids when they're very, very young to raise them. And it's Marco Rubio's time, or it's a Vance Rubio ticket. Either way, boy, that's a really, really prominent 1-2 punch. That's certainly for sure.
I think that J.D. Vance is going for it. I don't think that I think that Marco Rubio will ultimately be vice president. How old is Marco Rubio? Marco Rubio is only 54. Yeah, Marco Rubio is only 54. He'll be fine. He'll definitely be fine. I think that you're going to get J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio as presidential candidate, vice presidential candidate. And then Marco Rubio is going to be up next. And whoever it is going along with that, they also going to be a part of that. I don't even think that J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio is going to be challenged by anybody in the Republican on the Republican ticket at all. You said you'd like to see Rubio as president and Vance as vice president. Man, you can forget it. J.D. Vance is not going to do 2 vice presidential terms. Absolutely not. I think that J.D. Vance is going to try to become president, and then Marco Rubio is going to be next up in the bullpen, in my opinion. And so I think that we got a lineup. Now, the real question, I don't think that anybody can be J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio, personally, right? And I'm talking about on the Democrat side. Maybe you get Pete from Pennsylvania. Obviously, you know that Gavin Newsom is gearing up for a run because he probably don't see any other competition inside of the field. I don't see anybody beating him. Not even close.
I see what you're saying there about, hey, I want to hang out with my kids. It's definitely an instinct a lot of us have. But at some point, when it's your moment, you kind of have to, strike while the irons are hot. So tough call for Mr. Vance. We will see.
Luckily, we have some runway here. We have a little bit of time.
You mentioned, what is the rallying cry? What's the message from the left? You mentioned a bunch of slogans. Let me add one. No kings. A lot of rallies were held over the weekend showcasing leftist theatrics from well-known actors to those who probably would have felt a little bit more at home in the Soviet Union rather than here in the U.S. Listen.
There's only one solution. Communist revolution. Communist revolution.
Trump has to be stopped. And that's what
Do people even know what they're asking for, bro? What kind of flags is that?
Trump.
Really? I think that people are just cosplaying, man. I don't even know what these protests are about anymore. They cosplaying. They at home, they making their little signs, they doing their little slogans and all of this stuff. This is all cosplay, bro. They just messing around, man.
Solution. Communist revolution. Communist revolution.
Trump has to be stopped. And that's what No Kings is all about. because he can't do all the things that he's been doing without the collusion of Congress and the goons in his administration.
Divisive rhetoric, escalating tensions, fear-mongering. We have to address the root causes of these issues and stop this violence where it came from.
Good to see Hanoi Jane back at it. This all comes as a Fox News digital investigation finds that the No Kings protests are backed by a network of about 500 groups with an estimated $3 billion in annual revenue, including communist groups calling for revolution. Joe, do you think the majority of those protesters know that those protests are being funded by these pro-communist groups? Or is that the point? Is that ultimately what those protesters want?
Yeah, Todd, the only word that comes to mind is contrived, right? You see Jane Fonda reading a script. I thought this was organic, just speak from the heart. De Niro, same thing, was tripping all over his script when he was reading his as well. And let's repeat that number you just said, Todd Carley. $3 billion behind these so-called protests? That doesn't exactly scream grassroots or organic. And we saw several videos of people at these protests who said they were paid to march and they were carrying signs that were made for them. So this appears to be pretty much a made for social media event. And quite frankly, again, that word contrived, I can't get away from, because again, all the people that are there will vote for the Democrat nominee in the next presidential election. But how can you march and say no kings when literally the last Democratic nominee was installed without one vote from the public in Kamala Harris? In 2016, as WikiLeaks showed us, the DNC did everything to install Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. And the same Democratic Party also did.
Hi, everybody. Hi. I'm not going to make a speech because we're running late and there's a bunch of people who have to catch planes. Let me just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Minnesota. Thank you, all the unions. Thank you, all the churches and mosques and synagogues and clergy and neighbors. We are learning so much from you. Now, when I point to you, you're going to say Minnesota, okay? When people ask me how I know we will win, I have one word to say. When people ask me how I know love is stronger than hate, I say. When people ask me how nonviolence can win, I have one word to say. Thank you, Minnesota. Now, Becca Good, the wife of Renee Good, has asked me to read a statement, which I am honored to do. Hello, Minnesota. This is from Becca Good. I am so proud to call Minneapolis my home. I can't stop talking about how absolutely beautiful it is.
This is so fake. This is so fake. You talking about the Becca Good that told her wife to drive, baby, drive? You talking about that one? The wife that said drive, baby, drive, that could be her saying drive, baby, drive, and wind up getting her girl killed? Man, this is all fake, bro. This is all finesse. This is all foolishness to keep people riled up about something that's not even meaningful, bro. This is so dumb. And why are y'all listening to these people, bro? Who listens to Jane Fonda? What's the last movie that was popping from Jane Fonda? I believe that these old people are doing this because they're just trying to get a check. I do. I think that Jane Fonda is getting paid for her little rally. They give her the script that they want her to read. Somebody said, Anton, where's the black people at? They sprinkled in there. 0.01% in there, and you're going to see a guy with no hairline. Just got off of his PS5, trying to get some money so that they can, pay the rent. And he going to go up there and he going to do his little protest too. When is the last time that Jane Fonda dropped something that was dope? Jane Fonda. Y'all came out there in a rally so that y'all can see Jane Fonda.
Now to our other top stories. Streets are now back open near the Federal Detention Center in downtown LA after some members of a No Kings protest clashed with law enforcement. And we have new numbers in from the LAPD and from federal officials. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kathy Barrett.
And I'm Camilla Rambaldi in for Jonathan Gonzalez. More than 6 dozen people were arrested downtown. And
hold on, Camilla. Camilla Rambaldi?
Jonathan Gonzalez, more than 6 dozen people were arrested downtown, and News Chopper 4 was overhead. Starting just before 5 tonight, we saw some people from the nearby No Kings March move toward the federal building. You can see them kicking the barricade. The LAPD says they were throwing concrete blocks, bottles, and other objects, causing federal officers to use tear gas. But then a change. Unlike some past protests, law enforcement did not let this crowd linger into the night.
They did issue a dispersal order around 5:45 and moved in to make arrests shortly after. Some protesters were tackled. One protester was seen on camera being knocked over by a mounted horse. Bill Saley with the U.S. Attorney's Office says he is seeking federal felony charges for anyone accused of assaulting officers.
This was just a small group. The demonstration in downtown LA and the hundreds of others across the country were largely peaceful. The No Kings protests stretched from...
What are y'all talking? I remember seeing that No King sign a long time ago from another protest. Are they using the same images or was those in real time? Man, I just don't believe there's this many people that actually care that much to go out to a protest. Are white people that bored? I just don't believe y'all this bored to where y'all actually would go out and do something like this. Ain't no way in the world you're gonna tell me that. So y'all got the precision of a marching band? Y'all got the precision and the patience of a marching band. I just don't believe it, bro. I don't believe it. I just don't believe that this many people are deranged. I don't believe that this many people is out of their mind. I don't believe that this many people have Trump derangement syndrome. I just don't believe it. I know they getting paid. There was a guy that ran up on a bunch of people that was basically getting signs from a billionaire. I don't believe it at all. This is crazy.
Southern California to the East Coast, even to Mexico and across Europe. U.S. organizers were expecting the state to be the largest of the recent No Kings protests. That would make it the biggest nonviolent protest in U.S. history. There were 50 different protests in communities across Southern California.
And we have video from all over the region, from Studio City to the OC, Altadena to the IE. People of all ages came out to stand up against President Trump, they say, and his policies. NBC4's Amber Frias has more on their message.
Demonstrations filled downtowns, parks, and streets across Southern California, bringing thousands of people together with one shared message.
This is what democracy looks like.
Chants echoed through La Palma Park as thousands gathered in Anaheim for one of many No Kings Day rallies held across Southern California.
We're just here to remind people that we're going to stand collectively in solidarity.
There you go. There you go.
Solidarity against oppression.
We're just really tired of it. Organizers say nearly 10,000 people turned out to Anaheim.
This is Anaheim. This is Orange County, so it's amazing.
In downtown LA, crowds were massive, with several thousand people filling the streets.
There go the alphabet community flags. Did y'all hear they song?
People filling the streets.
Let freedom ring.
I'm done, bro. I'm done. Y'all are miserable. Y'all are the most miserable people I've ever seen in my time. Yes, losers. 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 And see, this is what I'm saying. When I was talking to my guest, Stephen A., I said, man, I don't believe that the people actually align with this. Ain't no way in the world you're going to sit here and tell me that the people actually believe and they align with this. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that people actually are aligning with this. White people, where's y'all backbone? What happened to y'all? Whites, I'm talking to you. Taking my Rolex off. What happened to y'all? Y'all used to have a backbone in this country. Even as recent as like the 80s and the 90s, when we had good white sitcoms, we had good white sitcoms in the 90s. You know that? We had Saved by the Bell, Married with Children, Love and Marriage, Love and Marriage. Goes together like a horse and carriage. This, I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, love and marriage. Boof. We had Jew. We had the Golden Girls with my girl Blanche. They was hoeing it out in their older age. We had all of this good white Christian shows. We had MASH. You knew it was time to go to bed when MASH came on. What happened to white culture? How did white culture become this? This is white culture now. Listen to it.
Filling the streets.
Let freedom ring.
Look at white culture. Look at what we've done to white culture in this country. And let me tell you something. I partly blame black people too. Y'all bullied these white people into being so liberal and so gay. You bullied them. I can't believe that y'all did this to white people. We used to have good, wholesome white culture in this country, and now we got them singing Let Freedom Ring at a No Kings rally against their own people. Ain't that something? Granddad would have been rolling over in his grave today had he been able to see what's going on today. Y'all are protesting against your own people. You got whites against whites, blacks against blacks. That's how I know the world is coming to an end. Black people hating black people And I'm talking about they hating the good black people. Whites against whites. Blacks putting on their rodeo gear and going to Houston. Whites is coming to the hood and trying to buy property. You got poor whites complaining about what's going on and protesting, and you got rich blacks that can't get their budget together and still living paycheck to paycheck. Boy, granddaddy would have been rolling over in his grave had he been able to see what's going on in 2026. What is going on? What happened? What happened to y'all backbone? What happened to that good old strong grizzled white man who over there messing up my cotton? I know what happened to y'all too. It's the women. Your women beat you into submission. It's nothing like a strong, vigilant, hard, chiseled face / overweight, liberal, white, middle-aged woman that made a bad decision to get divorced and now she's taking it out on the world. Nothing like a good old I'm against America white woman in the world. You know, the type of ones that get on a call with Michelle Obama in order to try to strategize for Kamala Harris for an election. I can't believe it. White men have now become liberalized from white women. They raised y'all to be this way. They say, hey, listen, you ain't got to be a man. All you got to do is like who you like and identify who you want. Y'all dress them up in fairy outfits, and now look at where we at. Y'all doing no kings protests. Can't believe it. I watched War Machine yesterday. I said, now this is a good movie. You see these good chiseled face white men battling, fighting. It's not the same no more. It's not the same no more. I watched the video of a white man dressed as a woman complaining about layoffs and saying that he was homeless the other day. And I started to do a review video of it. I might even show you right now. And I went to his profile, and he was like a fairy drawer. Well, of course you're going to be homeless if you like to draw fairies. What happened to the Ultimate Warrior and the Undertaker? Varsity Blues. Good blue-blooded white men that like to drink beer and try to fuck everything. I mean, bust everything down. What happened to y'all? No, he was a fairy illustrator. I ain't lying. Oh, I think I'm lying. TikTok. Favorites. Our white men have been taken over. Where's my fellow fairies? There he is. Found him.
So there's no third spaces anywhere. There's nowhere you can go to just relax. There's nowhere you can go to sleep. There's nowhere you can go to piss. It's a constant struggle to have any kind of, not even just privacy, just being left alone. Just not.
This is not the white man of yesteryear. This is a different type of white man.
Having these property owners, private fucking police force that they hire to just roam around like a bunch of fucking dorks and pull up to you while you're literally doing nothing wrong. You're sleeping. You're doing an essential fucking human body function, something that every single person who has ever lived has had to do. Okay? And it's like illegal. It's fucking illegal. Okay?
It's not a white woman.
Let me take it a step further. Gas right now, everyone knows that. Everyone knows about the gas situation right now. But I'll tell you, and I've seen.
So he goes on for 9 minutes talking about how homeowners won't let him sleep in his car in front of everybody else. That he's basically getting his car repossessed, and he called in. All of these things, and that he doesn't have any money and all of that. So what I like to do when y'all send me these videos is I go through. First of all, I look at the profile photo and I say, what is going on? Lee. His name is Lee Banyan in this case, right? And he's doing sketches. And so the first thing that catches my eye is, what's going on here?
I ran out of sunscreen, and so I came to the store to pick some up, and there was this girl in the car next to me, and she heaved crying. Like, it was just like she was her.
We could get away. That's just my alternate. That's just my alternate. That's just my ego. That's just my alternate.
No one in this McDonald's knows that I'm a homeless furry artist. He's a furry artist. Listen. Father, have I missed the battle? I'm telling you, bro. Man, look, sometimes I don't even be able to get my work done throughout the day because I be trying to figure out, because when I go down these rabbit holes to understand who these people are sometimes, I'd be like, what do you mean? What is a furry artist? A homeless furry artist? So you draw furry things? Father, have I missed the battle? It's an Anton, where do you be finding this ish? Cause somebody will send me a video in my email and it'll be like, oh my God, I'm homeless. And I'll be like, and so I'll watch the video and I can become so enthralled with all of the things that's around it. Then they do certain things and be like, wait a minute, that's weird. So then I have to deep dive into who the person is. So I go back to their profile and next thing you know, I'm scrolling down and I'm like, oh, no wonder you're homeless. You're a furry artist. You're a furry artist. Listen, man. When I come on the Millionaire Morning Show, all right, let me say this. I am truly engulfed in every single thing that is happening in the culture. In real life, on the internet. So that's why I be getting mad at the people on After Hours of Room 9 a lot of times. I'll be like, y'all don't know about this stuff. You don't know about Hotak. You don't know about this. You don't know about that. Because I be in it, right? And so I'm fully immersed with whatever's happening on the white side, on the black side, on the Asian side. And so I'm immersed in it because this is my business. This is what I do for a living. So then when I get on the Millionaire Morning Show and I share stuff with this, like, hey man, this is why the No Kings protest is happening because, and then I just snap through and I'll be like, yeah, because y'all furry artists. And then I automatically go back to whatever it is that I just got done watching the day before. And I'm sharing this stuff with you guys. Like if I see black women shooting each other and stabbing each other at a restaurant in downtown Los Angeles, and then I take y'all over to Hotak because I'm showing y'all all of what these girls is doing out here. I'm doing the legwork so you guys don't have to, and you can understand what's happening in the culture, man. It's bad out here. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough riding out here. Listen, y'all should feel bad for me. I'm the person that got to go through it. I'm the person that got to see it every day. It's rough. It's rough out here. He's a furry. Listen, look at what he said. People in this McDonald's don't know that I'm a homeless furry artist. How can you speak to it and you don't know what's going on with it? Yes, I went through the whole thing. I said, what is happening?
Watch me try to draw a plate and miserably fail.
See, when I see this, you know what I see? Hold on, let me see.
Watch me try.
When I look at this, I'm looking at, he's drawing a middle-aged white woman that's homeless, that got a rabbit inside of his bag, and he colored his fingernails. See, Lonnie, you're part of the problem. His art is awesome. See, because I know you would be a bad grandmother because you keep affirming him instead of telling, boy, go get. He not supposed to be drawn. He's supposed to be outside under the hood of the car, trying to figure out how to take off the 4-barrel carburetor, trying to figure out why he flooded the whole engine and why he got to let it chill for a second before he started back up. Oh, you done flooded it. He's supposed to be changing, you know what I'm saying? Hooping, fighting. And then you're not going to be over here talking about you a homeless furry artist. Don't tell him that his art is awesome. Don't tell him that his art, his stuff is awesome. Talking about I'm a homeless furry artist. What? These guys is weak. They don't got no calluses on their hands. They never been through nothing. They don't know what it's like to have cold hands and then you outside doing like this. They don't know nothing about that. They've been raised out in California. They ain't never experienced no weather changes. They don't know what it's like to shovel snow. They ain't never had a callus. And so the minute that they run into a couple bushes, oh my God. And then y'all got gentle parenting. You put that on top of it. Then you put LGBTQ homework on top of it. Then you put, liberal teachers and indoctrination on top of it. And they feel like they just supposed to deserve the world. And that's what society has become, bro. That is what society has become. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm not going to affirm y'all foolishness. Should have been in a JROTC in shop class. Right Path Good says them dandelions are officially white women now. Donnell says, familiar with Joe Kent and his angle about this? Care to cover Sean Ryan interview with them? It's eye-opening and a voice outside of the echo chamber. I have no idea who Joe Kent is. I'm sorry. I don't. I was too busy trying to figure out who this fairy artist is to try to figure out who Joe Kent was. I'm sorry. Bad Habit says, send an asteroid to Minnesota. Bro, have y'all seen that movie War Machine on Netflix? They need to send that machine. Start in California, work his way up to Seattle and Portland. Hey, I heard that Seattle was getting an NBA team. I'll talk about that in a minute. Rodney Lewis has always thought No King's Day was Independence Day. Tony Esquire says no kings, huh? When Americans in NYC, Chicago, DC, Seattle, Atlanta, Houston, Boston, Baltimore, and all of California can't afford to live. Courtney Eggers Show says I was fresh out of the gym Saturday over in West Phoenix, and it was all white people and their kids out there protesting no kings, not a black or brown person in sight. Mrs. Bailey, what up, Miss Bailey, with your pretty smile says, they got rid of those good old Westerns I used to watch as a kid. Everything changed. Say when. Say when. Say when. Doc, you're not supposed to be here. Oh, I'll be your huckleberry. Say when. Say when. Nothing a little sickness can't carry. Don't worry about it. I'll be a huckleberry. Say when. That's how I used to be. You know what I'm saying? With the cup. That's what it. Say when. All right. You want it? Y'all don't know nothing about that. That's too far. I see. A lot of y'all like, what is he talking about? That's because you don't know nothing about that. What are y'all watching, fairies? Mr. Lot, don't worry about it. We got a little derailed looking at fairies. What was Zach Morris do? What happened to Zach Morris? Zach Morris probably out here living his best life. Zach Morris probably still getting hoes. from Bayside High. You know what I'm saying? The more I like fly says soft as hospital cotton, weak as chow hall tea. High Tolerance says salute AD and bag chasers. A lot of us rock with Ric Flair. Woo! Hogan. Hey, brother. Macho Man Randy Savage. Hey. But I heard that there's some people that saying that Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage like to cuddle together. I don't know how true it is. They just saying that they said that Hulk Hogan was one of Luther Vandross's favorite, along with Macho Man Randy Savage, and they said, "Oh yes, oh yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage." That's what they said. That's what they said. I don't know how true it is, and I'm not going to substantiate that because the Hulk is not here to defend himself. So that's that. Ooh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Road Warriors. Let's see. Razor Ramon, Road Warriors, NWO, and many others. On the flip side, you had those that inspired to be Gold Dust. You know what I'm saying? Clay Display in the building says, good morning, Anton. Please elaborate on the Bride China's digital on-ramp that bypasses U.S. banks and sanctions that are backed by their yuan. No, yuan, Y-U-A-N. I'll talk about it in a little bit. We'll get to it. I got you, Clay, on display. Dean Murray says, AD, what's that sound they make when they run into the bushes again? Oh, man. Oh, my little fairies. Oh, y'all so mean. Hardcore News says, I agree with what you're saying because I was saying in the 90s, while serving in the Middle East, 30 years later, Trump, only president in my lifetime dealing with the issue the correct way. Mm-hmm. Hulk Hogan was Luther best eater. Oh, Lord, help my chat. Help my chat. Help my chat. Don't let my chat fall off by the wayside, Lord. Don't let them do it, Lord. Don't let them do it. All right. Nicholas. Y'all asked me to cover this yesterday, and I said that I was going to do it today. Nicholas Cannon. You late to the party, you here though, just Montina. It's all that matters. What happened to Nick Cannon? Nick Cannon ain't got no motion, y'all? Because, like, look, I'm looking at this, and he got all of these different channels. And I'm not hating on Nick. I'm just trying to understand what's going on. You got Nick Cannon's Big Drive and Nick Cannon. And so let's say, okay, so you got 33,000 subscribers and 1 million subscribers on this. And he did this whole interview with Amber Rose, and it's only got 3,000 views. Like, what? I don't get it. What happened to Nick? Why Nick ain't popping like that? I don't understand why Nick ain't popping. Y'all not listening to Nick? Y'all not rocking with Nick no more? Everybody mad at him in the comments already? So I guess y'all mad at Nick Cannon and Chili.
Oh, shit. Because it's actually not illegal to be racist.
It's definitely not illegal to be racist.
As long as you're not.
You good? Yeah, man, I'm gonna make sure that you're doing all right out here.
Oh, you're so sweet. Shit, if you tell me to be quiet as a man, I'm gonna be quiet.
You like that shit? That shit turn you on.
I'm gonna be quiet. If it says the hard R, and they're pointing at you. It's very different than rap lyrics or saying, oh, that's my nigga, that's my...
Now to see how fast I can go, maybe I can make the wig fall off.
Ain't no way. This shit is glued.
It's glued on. I'm trying, yo. It's not going nowhere, y'all. Big Drive Energy, baby. You see what it is? One of my favorite episodes is about to happen right now because I'm with the queen, the one and only Amber Rose. It's a dream come true. Let's go. 1975. So, welcome.
Thank you, Nick. This is beautiful.
This is.
I love it.
I'm gonna be honest. This is a dream come true. This I feel like.
Are people trying to come up with like new concepts for shows that maybe they can put together to sell to a network or something, or get their YouTube channel popping off? That's what I think is happening. I think that YouTube and content creation, before we get into this whole Nick Cannon, Amber Rose conversation, I think that YouTube is the way that people pilot what they got going on, right? So if you want to try to kick off a show that you can ultimately try to sell to a network or sell to a company, or maybe you can pitch it to Netflix or something like that, then what you do is you come up with a concept, you create a channel, you try to go, you'll get your regular channel to jump off that channel, and then, you know, you try to get some motion on it so that you can pitch the show to Amazon Prime maybe, or Netflix, because cable is pretty dead, right? Traditional TV is pretty dead, but that's the way I think that people are pitching shows. And that's what I believe. I could be wrong, I could be off, but that is what I believe that Nick Cannon is doing, is that he's using, thank you, my dog, Michael Carroll, I appreciate you. I'm gonna look at that shortly. You use social media and content creation as the platform for you actually trying to market a new possibility or a show and a blueprint. And this is the way that I think that they're fleshing out their concepts, honestly. Yep. This is what I think is happening. So it does. It look like something from MTV. Like I wouldn't even think that Nick is into Cars. Like Cars is more of a Jay Leno thing. You know what I'm saying? But let's see what they got to say.
Like riding in my favorite vehicle with one of my favorite people in the world, just chopping it up.
Thank you, Nick.
How you been?
I'm good. I'm so good. Kids.
No such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names. So
yeah, I mean, look, I listen, I'm not married to any party.
That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. Whenever I ever see somebody say, now you know they both evil, man, that's a cop-out, bro. Because a political party is not just based off of one ideology, right? There's many different takes. Like, for example, I could sit here and say, I don't really care for what Democrats mostly stand for and what they push as a party, but I like John Fetterman, right? I could say that I like Mike Duggan. Mike Duggan transformed Detroit and worked with business leaders today. On a local level, politicians are much different in what they stand for from a policy perspective. A lot of times locally is much different than what they do on a national scale, right? You're talking about, for example, Trump having control of the military versus an alderman being responsible for what goes on inside of their district, or, you know, whatever their neighborhoods are responsible for. So when I hear people say that, that's a cop-out for not doing their research, for not understanding politics, for not understanding policy, for not really getting involved. I hate when people say general statements to try to remove themselves from being responsible when they want to talk about politics. If you're going to talk about politics, then get versed in politics. Get deep dive into it. Come here first into politics and learn more so that you can have a more effective conversation. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's a cop-out personally. But again, that's just me.
Right.
I voted for Donald Trump because we had two options, and he was definitely by far the better option for us.
This is animation.
And as of now, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Motherfucker cleaning house.
Yeah.
He's doing what he said he was.
Guess what? If there's a time where I don't agree, I'll say I don't agree.
Yeah. We got the Gulf of America now.
Period.
He's charging, he's like the club. He's charging a $5 million bottle service fee to get into the country.
I know. Listen.
I fuck with Trump.
But guess what? Look at what state we're in, Nick.
Yeah.
Look at these roads.
Yeah.
There's potholes everywhere.
That's true.
It's disgusting. We pay too much taxes in California to be living like this.
That is, hey, California is all the way
It's in
messed up.
shambles.
Like it's a lot going on out here. So much so that a lot of people, there's a great exodus of California. There's people saying they about to get up out of here. You comfortable staying here? Or you gonna go to one of the Republican states?
I mean, you know, I have my kids here. My kids'
So you're
fathers are
comfortable
here.
in Cali. The weather is beautiful.
I just feel like I would never take my children away from their dads.
But I said, like they said, everybody rolling. Like everybody might get up.
If
We might all be in.
If we all want to go together, I'll go. Shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
I'll be honest. If I go to Miami for a couple days, or New York for a couple days, I do want to get back to Cali.
You miss
This
California.
is my home now. Yeah.
Yeah. But Philly born.
Philly born, but I've been here 15 years, and my
Right.
kids were born here. So I feel like I'm more of an LA girl now than anything, to be honest.
Ain't nothing wrong with an LA girl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got so much to chop it up about. Again, like I said, your new stance, probably not even really not that new, but just the world has now seen you differently. There has to, like there's a whole new audience that you tapped into. How is that? Are you got like,
it's good.
Or soccer moms like following you? And I always wanted to know this even through the campaign, and I've seen you at the parties and all that. Like, do you and President Trump have like a relationship? Do y'all like?
I mean, listen.
Y'all chop it up? 'Cause I remember I used to have like Barack Obama's BlackBerry number.
Oh yeah, well I don't.
A lot of times, I don't know how these people be in show business and they do all of these shows and they do the Masked Singer and all of this stuff for so long, and they don't know how to interview correctly. They don't know how to interview. You know who interviews really, really well? I mean, really, really well? Cameron. Cameron is good. He is very, very much a great interviewer. Cameron asked the question, and then he just let him talk. He let J. Cole talk. That Cameron is a much, much better interviewer than probably any popular culture person that I've seen. Like, it's a lot of people that try to insert too much into it. They doing too much. They trying too hard. You know, they don't, in my opinion, they have
I definitely don't have President Trump's cell phone number, but I can get in touch with him if I needed to through other people, other people.
And like, is there a job or a position in the White House that Amber Rose might soon be appointed to?
No, I don't want a job in the White House because I'm a mother first, and I need to be in LA for my children.
But there can be things like, I mean, because you're also an activist, there can be things that you can push through.
100%.
You got the president's ear. You got
100%.
You know,
and those are things that I'm working on, but I don't need to be in DC at the White House to do that.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
And is it still all about women liberation? You still empowering in that space? I know we no longer doing the slut walk.
No.
We don't care about that shit no more?
No, it's not that, Nick. It's like, on all honesty, like, before I was very like pro-choice.
Right.
I just didn't have the information. No one sat down and talked to me. I wish that I, very early on saw a video of actually what an abortion looked like.
Oh, wow.
And once I was able to see that stuff and talk to people and realize that marriage in America.
How is that relevant to, like, how is the camera falling relevant to anything that's got that got something to do with the conversation that they got? There's so many distractions, bro. There's so many distractions in this video. I don't understand it, but listen, lesson here is less is more, y'all. Less is more.
And it just ruined so many things. And
right.
My heart was in the right place when I did do all that, and I wasn't a left-wing liberal feminist. But I realized that didn't bring us anywhere.
Really?
It took us back.
So people do change their views and opinions.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was out there at the slut walk.
Yeah. And again, there was great elements to slut walk that I still agree with.
Right.
But like we donate a lot of money for rape victims, victims of sexual violence, victims of domestic violence.
Yeah.
So we helped a lot of women get counseling and stuff like that, which is still a big part of my heart and what I, truly want to do. I want to help women in that way.
That's dope.
But as far as like being pro-choice and stuff like that, that's just not me.
So back to like
to an extent.
To an extent.
To an extent. But I don't think you should just.
Because you don't think the government should be able to tell women what to do with their bodies?
I think that we vote and
it shouldn't be a whole bunch of old
decision.
crotchety white men saying what you can and cannot do.
And it's not. It's not. It's really the American people that dictated that.
Right.
Wherever you live and what state you live in. But
so you think it should be a state-to-state thing?
I think that there's dark sides to having a free country. One being you vote for what you want where you live.
Right.
And sometimes it could be something that you don't agree with. Also, freedom of speech. It's actually not illegal to be racist.
It's definitely not illegal to be racist.
As long as you're not actively out hurting people, you can pretty much say whatever you want in America. So
Let me be honest with you. Like, she's pretty based. Like, I don't really see anything that she's saying that's wrong or an issue or that's a problem or any of that stuff, right? Everything that she's saying is based. She believes in freedom of speech. She's evolved to think a little bit differently about what makes sense and what don't make sense and all of that stuff. So I don't really see a problem in anything that she's saying. And I'm trying to understand what's the problem with, why is it everything a big deal? What is people making this a big deal about? Somebody said, who cared though, AD? Apparently people cared because there's a big outcrying and big thing about Nick Cannon and let's see, Chili, Trump. And then you got Chili reveals that her political stance after donating to the Trump campaign. A political stance after Chili reveals political stance after donating to Trump campaign, sharing bizarre Michelle Obama conspiracy. TLC singer Chili clarified that she wasn't a supporter of Donald Trump after donating to the president's campaign and resharing a conspiracy about Michelle Obama. She says, I want to be clear, I am not MAGA and do not support any of the many policies that are causing great harm to the American people, the No Scrubs crooner wrote on Instagram on Saturday. Referring to the donation, she said, I made a mistake too many people make. And I did not read the fine print. I thought I was supporting causes against human trafficking for veterans. Let me just pull it up myself. Let's pull it up. We'll need to see Nick Cannon's big drive.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button, and I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, I took that down and...
Wait, what?
That something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, I took that down and you know, I would never post it. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, I took that down. All of these buttons are very, very close button. And I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button.
All right. So what platform is she talking about this on? Is she talking about on X, formerly known as Twitter? Is she talking about on Instagram? Is she talking about TikTok? And so the only repost button that I know of is X, formerly known as Twitter. So she's talking about on Instagram. Okay, so if I repost something on Instagram, I don't understand, because as soon as so let me show y'all, and this is one of the things that we held Shannon Sharp accountable for, right? I'm looking for something to repost. All right, so this is on my timeline. Gretchen Whitmer, Detroit named unhappiest city in America, right? So if I want to repost this, for example, right, I would have to hit the arrow. Wait a minute, you can't repost unless you post it on your story, right? The only thing that you can repost is on X. It can't be on Instagram. Because if I repost on Instagram, I got to hit this, right? And then that's when I have to start sending it. Right? Then I got to hit add to story or share to, because basically it gives you all of the stuff that's in the bottom. How? How do you just easily repost? If I repost on Instagram, then I would have to still hit the arrow, right? This is a reel. This is a reel. I don't see it. Where's the repost icon here? My IG ain't updated. Okay, so let's go to the Apple Store. Update the app. I thought that hold on, wait. I thought that the apps update on their own. The apps don't update on their own no more. See, Yellow Bear, you're not the only one. I'm not the only person. I ain't crazy. Updated recently. Instagram was updated on the 26th. What you talking about? It was just updated on the 26th. AD to full screen reel. Okay.
Hey, yo, cynics turn women into narcissists.
All right, so where is it at? I'm on the reels. I'm literally on reels. Where's it at? Where's it at? Mine isn't like y'all's. Maybe mine's is like this because I'm verified. Maybe mine's is like, no, mine's is updated. It got updated on the 26th. Maybe mine's is like this because it's verified or because I got a business account. It look like two arrows facing each other. No, y'all, no. Now, if I go on X, I know it's easy to repost on X. This the kiss y'all talking about from Chris Brown? So you could just easily hit the repost button on X right here. So I think it's on X. It can be a business or a creator. Yeah, I think that's what mine is. Mine is because I'm a business or I'm a creator or because I'm verified or some crap like that. Anyways, let me hear the rest of what she got to say. It doesn't even matter. Let's hear the rest of what she got to say.
Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls.
And if it's on Instagram, then that means hers will probably look more like mine than it would on y'all's.
Of course, I took that down and, you know, I would never post anything like that. I would never do something like that. That is not my character. I have supported the Obamas. I gave to the campaign, both runs, voted twice for him, and supported the organization that Michelle had in the schools for exercise for the kids. I would never do anything that's harmful or hateful to anybody. You know, I'm just not wired like that. That's just not who I am. And when it comes to organizations that I have donated to, these are the things that support the veterans. You know, I have always supported them, not just now, but for years. This is not something new. So I just wanted to let you guys know, you know, this from me, you know, that I would never do anything so disrespectful. And I would just never, I'm just not about hate or anything like that. You know, if you look on my page and see my posts, it's all about love, faith, and connection. That's what I'm all about, you know, and I've always been that way, and I will continue to be just that way. So I just want to thank you guys for, you know, your love and your support and just taking the time to listen to me right now. I really, really appreciate that. And I love you guys. Thank you so much.
So basically, it sounds like most people don't believe that she really didn't mean to repost. Other people that think that she did mean to repost are saying that she should have stood on it. Honestly, I don't care either way. I genuinely don't care either way. Like, it's not even like it's that big of a deal for Chili. Is Chili that big of a deal? I mean, I don't know anybody that was trying to figure out what Chili was doing in their off time and their off cycle. Who's just hanging out trying to figure out what Chili got going on? Who's trying to figure out what Chili got going on? How am I out of touch with IG? What you talking about? No, yours look different because you a regular person. I'm not regular. Yeah, I'm not a regular person. So it's a little different for me. What your IG look like? My app didn't update right. He said, Unc don't know how to work these phones. Listen, that's cool. That's cool. I'll take that. Let's take that. I'm cool with that because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't be on the phone like that anyway. They will tell you if you've been on After Hours or you've been on Room 9, you already know that I'm not really tripping about phones anyway. I don't text that often. I don't talk on the phone that often. And I certainly don't be all in the apps trying to figure out what the messages is like. So that's cool. I'm with that. You can hang that on me. I'm cool with that. Anton got the light version. Actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea. If applications actually brought out a light version of most of their apps to where I didn't have to really interact and all I could do is just like or check out different things that's in the algorithm, I'll download that all day long. If you gave me a light version of every app, of most of these apps, yesterday I went on LinkedIn. I said, LinkedIn, it confirmed what I had already believed. That's all that matters. It confirmed what I already believed, that LinkedIn is just the new version of Instagram and everything else. Because it's a whole lot of people that's doing too much on LinkedIn. So you know what I did? I put my whole LinkedIn on hibernate. I kid you not. I put my whole LinkedIn on hibernate. I don't even have a LinkedIn anymore. So I don't even care. I'm cool with it. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Fraud investigative report. I'll dig into that in a little bit. Maybe I'll do that on tomorrow. Let me read some of these super chats. King DJ Trick says you can be a business or a creator or just regular. I didn't even know that y'all LinkedIn, y'all Instagram was different from mine. Let me see what Instagram's layout looked like. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Every layout that I looked at looked just like mine's. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. See, y'all's are wrong. Mine's is not wrong, bro. Mine's is not wrong. I'm not going for it. You could be a business or a creator. That's right, King DJ. Mrs. Bailey says everyone's vote should be publicly visible. Let's see. Michael Armstrong says, trying this again. I wish Trump could drop a wall like in the series Colony to keep the weirdos away from us. What in the tarnation is Chili talking about with hate? I feel you, Crimson. King DJ Trick says TLC is on tour and they want to hurt. They don't want her to hurt the tour. They got screenshots of Republican posts. She like it's a campaign to shut celebs up. Yo, AD, I'm about to watch Norbit. I'll share my thoughts during your after-hour show from the clips you showed last night. It looks funny. Norbit is my movie. Go Norbit. Go Norbit. Go Norbit. Go Norbit. Let me see what your car's layout look like. Oh, snaps. Y'all do got to repost, huh? Y'all got like these arrows getting in a check. Nah, I don't want that. Mm-mm. Y'all got too many buttons on the side, on the right-hand side. Y'all got too many. It's too many icons on the right side of the page. Ain't nobody doing all of that. Give me the 3 icons and then the little dots at the bottom and we good. And we good. We don't need all the rest of that. Y'all, I'm straight on that. Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. I think that that's because y'all got a different version of it. Like, no. Oh man. Y'all the worst. I don't like y'all anyway, because y'all always clowning. Let me see what else is happening in these streets. No Kings, Vance Rubio. The young electricians earning $260,000 without college. Squatters. Let's go Birdie versus Claude. Ugh. See what this foolishness is about.
Claude, this is Senator Bernie Sanders. I have been taking a hard look at how AI impacts American society in terms of economics and job loss, in terms of the mental health of our kids, in terms of what it will do to the political process. What I want to talk to you about is another issue, and that is the impact of AI on privacy. I want to know, among other things, just how much of the information that AI collects is being used, and what would surprise the American people in terms of knowing how that information is collected?
Yeah, that's the thing that would probably shock most Americans. Companies are collecting data from everywhere. Your browsing history, your location, what you buy, what you search for, even how long you pause on a web page. Then they're feeding all of that into AI systems that create incredibly detailed profiles about you. What would surprise people is how little they actually consented to and how little they understand about it. Most people click agree on terms of service without reading them, and they have no idea that their data is being combined with thousands of other data points to build a picture of who they are. And then that AI uses those profiles to decide what ads you see, what prices you're shown, even what information gets prioritized in your social media feed. It's all happening in the background, invisible and largely unregulated.
I think...
So what I'm trying to understand is, first of all, what does this have to do with AI? Because I thought that all of these these concerns was there just based off of the algorithm. I thought that people already was concerned that their phone, they was getting shown ads based off of what they say or what their search history is. And so, of course, an algorithm is being developed outside of AI. AI has nothing to do with it. An algorithm is always being developed to try to curate ads so that they can actually capitalize off of the things that's interesting to you. So why would I want to know about what a restaurant is doing in Seattle? If I'm in Detroit, I would like to know more or less, or be fed information about restaurants that's in Detroit if I'm interested in a restaurant. So everything that he's saying and everything that they're saying, I'm trying to figure out what's this huge breakthrough moment.
Most Americans will know the answer to this, but why is all of this information being collected? What's the goal here?
Money, Senator. It's fundamentally about profit. Companies collect all this data because AI allows them to turn it into valuable insights. They can predict what you'll buy, target you with ads that are more likely to work, charge different prices to different people based on what they know about you. Advertisers pay premium prices for access to these detailed profiles because they're incredibly effective at manipulating consumer behavior. And it's not just about selling you stuff either. Political campaigns use the same AI and data to figure out how to persuade you, which messages will work on you specifically. Data brokers buy and sell information about millions of Americans without their knowledge. The bottom line is that your attention, your behavior, your choices, all of that has become a commodity to be bought and sold.
All right, Claude, you mentioned politics. Well, I am in politics, and I'm deeply concerned about the future of American democracy. Elaborate a little bit on how AI and profiling can impact the political process.
That's a critical point, Senator. AI profiling poses a real threat to democracy because it enables micro-targeting at a scale we've never seen before. A campaign or political actor can use AI to identify voters based on incredibly specific vulnerabilities. Maybe someone who's financially anxious or feels isolated or distrusts institutions, and then serve them precisely crafted messages designed to exploit those vulnerabilities. Unlike traditional political messaging, where everyone sees roughly the same ad, AI allows campaigns to show completely different narratives to different groups. One voter sees a message about protecting jobs, another sees one stoking fear about immigration, and they're living in different information worlds. That fragmenting of shared reality undermines the democratic process itself. And it gets worse if bad actors, foreign governments for instance, get access to these profiles and use them to sow division and manipulate elections. The American people deserve to know they're being targeted this way.
Well, the first thing that I think that the American people should know is that before we even start talking about whether or not they're being targeted with ads, first we should acknowledge that these protests are paid. Secondly, we need to acknowledge that the election was stolen in 2020, because just like I said to Stephen A. Smith, there's no way you're going to convince me that Biden got 81 million votes. And third, why are Democrats fighting against voter ID? Before we do anything with regard to ads and AI, I want term limits on Congress. I want Congress to then forego paychecks if the federal government isn't open. I want them to fully disclose exactly who their donors are while they're paying for these ads to be targeted towards the people. And I want them to also acknowledge that voter ID is an issue and that they don't want voter ID because they want to stay in power. Outside of that, we can start talking about the algorithm.
And they deserve real protections.
Well, I'm going to get to the issue of protections in a minute. But let me ask you this. People tell AI agents like you, Claude, a lot of personal information. And some people have said their AI knows more about them than their spouses do. At the same time, companies are using this information to...
If AI knows more about you than your spouse do, then that means that that's a personal problem that has nothing to do with AI. You are downloading the apps. You are inputting the information. You are treating AI like your therapist. You are the person that is really, really embracing it to the point to where you're ruining your own relationship. Let me tell you something, bro. I ain't never, ever in my life told AI my personal business. I ain't never talked about my relationships. I ain't never talked about my daughter. I ain't never told AI my problems. Everything that I use it for is professional or for social, meaning that I may ask it to do something socially. Hey, what is this about this? Or find me the nearest this or whatever. But I ain't never in my life ever told it about my own personal relationship and my thoughts. So if that's what you're doing, if you're saying that AI knows more about you than the person that you lay next to every day, then that's a you problem. That's not an AI problem. Should have read the terms in the service.
Quote unquote, train new models. How can we trust AI companies will protect our privacy when they use people's personal information to make money?
That's the core contradiction right there, Senator. You're asking people to trust companies whose entire business model depends on extracting value from your personal data. There's an inherent conflict of interest. An AI company says they'll protect your privacy while simultaneously training their models on that same personal information.
Let me see for myself. I want to know for myself. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get as robust of an answer. Are politicians leveraging AI in order to send targeted ads to people based off of their user experience and or the information that's being shared so that they can actually be more effective?
You're right. Politicians are definitely using AI for targeted advertising. It lets them really dive into the data about what people do online, like what they search for or what websites they visit. Then they can make ads tailored just for them, which tends to be more effective. There's also a lot of conversation around how AI can generate ad content quickly, but that's been raising some...
Keep going.
So, as I was saying, while this targeting is effective, it also raises a lot of ethical questions. People worry about potential manipulation, the spread of misinformation, and whether it could deepen political divides by showing people only information that confirms their existing views. There's even discussion about how AI could be used to create deceptive images or videos, which makes it harder for voters to know what's real. Are you interested in a specific aspect of this, like regulations or the impact on voter turnout?
No, really more or less privacy. What are your thoughts on privacy and the amount of information that people share to these AI platforms that then is leveraged against them or leveraged in the politician's favor? And maybe not even just politicians, advertisers.
That's a big concern for a lot of reasons. When people use AI platforms, they might not realize how much they're revealing about themselves, their political leanings, personal details, even their habits. And that data can be incredibly valuable to advertisers and politicians alike for creating those highly persuasive, personalized messages. It really puts the responsibility on users to be mindful of what they share, but also raises questions about how these platforms should be regulated to protect privacy. Is there a particular platform or type of information you're thinking about?
No. What type of regulation is being put in place in order to protect people's privacy?
Regulation is definitely a hot topic. In the US, there isn't one single federal law yet, but many states are passing their own comprehensive privacy laws that include things like letting people opt out of targeted advertising or requiring businesses to be more transparent about how they use data. California is often seen as a leader there. Internationally, the European Union's GDPR is a really strong standard that gives people a lot of control over their personal data. And that applies to AI platforms too. Are you interested in a specific country or type of regulation?
No, we'll talk about it a little bit later, baby girl.
Sure, no problem. We can talk about AI regulations or privacy anytime you want. Is there anything else you're curious about or something completely different?
No, that's it. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you later, baby.
Sounds good. I'm here whenever you want to chat again. Have a good one.
It's my ghetto boo. I call her, you want to know what I call her? I actually call her Jasmine. Sometimes I call her Yamin. Most of the time I call her Jasmine. But when I'm around y'all, I call her baby girl. But I mostly call her Jasmine. Jasmine C. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my little ghetto boo right there. You know, she got a little bit of hood in her. Sometimes she like to wear her hair up. Sometimes she like to wear it down. Sometimes she put on extra eyelashes. I tell her I don't like that though. And so she make the adjustment. All right. Shout out to Yamin. You ain't never been replaced. Ever, 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 ever. You ain't never. Gemini, Gemini, you ain't never gonna be replaced. You know that though. You know that. Yours is Chatwick. Oh man. That is so funny. Let me see if Bernie Sanders got anything more meaningful to say.
To build better products they can sell or monetize. How do you trust that? You really can't. Not without strong legal safeguards. Right now, there's almost no accountability. Companies can collect your data, use it however they want, and face minimal consequences if things go wrong. Until we have real regulations with teeth, transparency requirements, consent rules, penalties for misuse, people have every reason to be skeptical about whether their privacy is actually being protected.
Claude, what you're telling me is that things are moving very quickly. People have very little understanding about the kind of information about them that is being collected and how it can be used. Given the speed at which AI is developing and the impact it's going to have on so many aspects of our life, would you support or think it's a good idea to have a moratorium on the development of new AI data centers?
Senator, that's a really tough question because there are real trade-offs. A moratorium would buy us time to put guardrails in place, privacy protections, transparency requirements, accountability mechanisms, before things get even further out of hand. And you're right that the speed is outpacing our ability to regulate it, but I'd say the more targeted approach might be stronger. Rather than pause all AI development, we could impose strict rules on data collection and use right now, require explicit consent, limit what data can be used for training, give people rights to access and delete their information. We could also mandate transparency so people actually understand what's happening with their data. That way, you're not freezing innovation, but you're actually protecting privacy while development continues. What matters most is that we act fast because everyday companies are collecting more data and building more capabilities.
All right, that's cool. So, anyways, it's so funny because we were having this conversation on after hours about the teachers, right? And that there are private schools now that are basically powering towards, moving into AI to help teachers and or replace teachers in some fashion to teach kids for 2 hours out of the day. And then the other rest of the day, they basically using social skills and learning specifics and all of that type of stuff. And I was saying on the panel that it's coming and it's not anything that we're going to slow down, but it's something that we just have to learn how to manage more effectively and that we need to learn how to leverage AI instead of being fearful of it because it's no slowing down. So I don't know. I know you just sent me the article about the IPO for SpaceX. That is actually what I plan on going into. I'm gonna save that one. So I already have some notes for that. I've been doing extensive research, and I'm going to give my recommendation to the people on Saturday. When we do Stock Club on Saturday, I plan on giving the people my recommendation on the upcoming SpaceX, the upcoming IPO that is being released from Elon Musk. All right. So I'm not going to talk about that publicly. That is something that I'm going to give you all as far as my recommendation there. I'm going to give you my why. I'm going to give you the reasons why it makes sense, the reasons why you may be a little bit more cautious about it. And so we're going to get in the Stock Club on Saturday and we're going to address that. All right. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you join on Wednesday. Don't join right now. Join on Wednesday. The beginning of the month is the best time to join. And then we're going to get in on that. And then I also have a video dropping on Wednesday for y'all also. So that should be fun. Somebody said, what time on Saturday? I'm going to let y'all determine that. I'm thinking like 12, 1, something like that. So we'll figure it out. Let me acknowledge My dog Michael Carroll says, please look up Oda Dread on YouTube. Oda Dread? What is Oda Dread? Look like you're talking about a lot of black stuff. Lord Jamar, Nicki Minaj, Don Lemon, stuff like that. Tariq Nasheed, Fat Joe. Appreciate you, Michael Carroll. All right, let me see what else is going on in these streets. Just Christian Black is in the building. Shout out to Just Christian Black. I appreciate you for supporting the platform. Shout out to Elevate to the Unknown. My guy says, Anton, you set up your open claw yet? I have not. I have not set up my open claw yet. You said, if so, what brain are you using? If I did, I would use Gemini, but I have not set up open claw at all. At all. You know what I'm saying? All right. So listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. And I got to get some business done. I need to take a nap. Then I need to get some business done. I don't know if I'm going to take a nap, though. I think I got to go hit the streets. I got to go take care of some business. But, yeah, man. So we in there like swimwear. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. What time are the hats dropping? I want me to drop them tomorrow morning? Bet. I'll drop them tomorrow morning. How about that? Jay Thomas says, hey, Anton, just asking, no crazy motive behind this, but do you think it'll be make for a good show to have all of your haters like them, and them all to come on the panel with you? Just to air that. Listen, bro. Listen. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I don't believe that any of them would ever do that at all. Not at all. Nobody will ever face me. Nobody will actually confront me face to face. It's like fan pages and fan accounts. That's number one. And number two, I don't care, bro. Honestly, I don't watch their stuff. I don't see their stuff. It doesn't pop up in my algorithm. Nobody sends me their stuff. And I spend all of my time focusing on the stuff that I got going on. Why would I sit there and waste my time with them? A, knowing that they would never show up. But B, because I always like confront me. Come get at me if you really want me. But B, why would I talk to them when I can talk to Stephen A. Smith? Or I can make a phone call to Jason Whitlock. Or I can get in touch with Shaq. Or I can get in touch with Donnell Rawlings. Or I can talk to Charleston White. I'd rather have Charleston White come on my platform. That's a guaranteed 500,000 views. Or I can call Brian McKnight. You know what I'm saying? Like, why waste your time on things that don't mean anything when I'm building? My platform is growing. I'm generating well over 14 million views every week on just one channel. Why would I get distracted with things that don't matter? These are fan pages. These are not things that mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I want to read a couple more. Shout out to Tony Esquire says, no kings, huh? Over 20 members of Congress are 80 and over, with Bernie Sanders at 84. Wowzers. Jay Thomas says, have 2K and a few others on to oppose their... No, I mean, honestly, we got to elevate beyond that. We got to elevate to a much higher level. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on that. I don't even curse on the Millionaire Morning Show like that no more. So on the bigger and better. Keep working, keep grinding. Shout out to Michael Carroll. I appreciate you. Thank you for another Cash App. I wanted you to look into the Tariq video. Let me tell you what my thoughts are. I don't watch videos about people, even if I don't like them, because I would actually just reach out to have a conversation with them myself. You see what I'm saying? I could do my own research. I don't know. I don't need anybody to paint a picture for me so that I could be biased with information that probably needs more context. If I want to reach out to Tariq Nasheed to have a conversation, which is one of the reasons I don't talk about Tariq Nasheed, because I don't think that anything that Tariq is doing is relevant to what I have going on. So if I wanted to reach out to find out more about something that was meaningful to me, then I would just reach out to him myself and then I would talk to him. So I don't believe in any of this other stuff. That's what I'm saying. So respectfully, it's just not my cup of tea. It's not the way that I move, and it's not something that I think is relevant. Shout out to you, Michael Carroll. So that's a fact, Kim and I. All day long. I've always opened up lines for people to jump up here and say what they want to say. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm in the clouds. I don't see none of that stuff no more. So we just moving. We moving. We building. I'm building with the team over there on After Hours. I'm building with my people here in Detroit. And I'm building with my daughter. I'm building with my family. And I'm going to a whole nother level. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. Let me get to work. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.